Hello, Noble Congressional members. My name is Tracy Atala, representing the National Association of Social Workers. On behalf of the organization I represent, as well as myself, I am greatly honored for the consideration of the issue and for allowing myself to testify here today. I am knowledgeable on the subject of the Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Act Reauthorization of 2013, accompanied by the overall scope of the issue of suicide intervention and prevention. I represent a large group of citizens, considering that suicide is the 10th ranking cause of death in the United States according to the National Suicide-Related Statistics, which affects both those at risk of suicide and as well as the family and friends of those at risk. My goal is to get the reauthorization of the Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Act passed and established as law in order to expand the provisions stemming from the Public Health Service Act in order to establish program aid, as well as to establish a technical center in order to sufficiently prevent suicide rates. My concern is that the problematic areas with the existing provisions do not establish a specific base center to all which smaller centers nationwide can reach out to for resources, training skills, testing procedures, and top prevention strategies. The new provisions under the Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Reauthorization Act of 2013 does not focus on grants to programs to help them be sufficient, but rather focuses on establishing a specific suicide prevention technical assistance center, which will act as a major resource for any other outreach programs in assisting at-risk populations and devising the best strategies for suicide prevention. The revised provisions also allow appropriate funding for both the technical center as well as regarding mental health and substance use disorders services on campus. The problem of suicide is a major social concern considering that statistics show that suicide is the 10th ranking cause of death in the United States, as I stated before, and it is also the third most common cause of death for youth. Statistics also show that on average, one young person every 2 hours commits suicide, and that for every one death by suicide, there are 25 attempts of suicide. It is apparent that this is a problematic issue at hand, that this is in desperate need of prevention due to the amount of lives being taken, which could be decreased if the Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Reauthorization Act of 2013 is passed. According to Senator Jack Reed, who is the main sponsor on the bill, quote, "The horrific mass shootings we've seen at schools across the country shows that more work must be done to address the mental and behavioral health of children and young adults before they hurt themselves and others. Many young people have treatable mental illnesses, but they don't get the help they need. This bill provides critical resources for the prevention and outreach programs to help the at-risk youth before it's too late." Such a statement shows that this issue is not merely a microscopic problem, but that it has affected each and every one of us in some way. Whether we personally know a friend, a family member, or a beloved member of our communities that has fallen victim to mental illness or repercussions of a mental illness, such as the various school shootings throughout the country. We need to take action as our responsibility, and to do that, we can decrease the problem of suicide while we are able. There are many current efforts to resolve the problem, such as organizations including the Suicide Prevention Resource Center, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Veteran Crisis Line, and many more. These organizations most definitely help raise awareness and provide guides of how to effectively prevent suicide. However, they would be improved significantly with the passage of this bill, with the increase in necessary funds and increase in guarantees for certain grants in order to utilize programs on campus. Another necessary improvement for current efforts would be to establish a technical center, which crucially expands the knowledge of the top prevention efforts, as well as increases the resources and assistance given to smaller organizations. My recommendation to the further expansion of relief efforts in decreasing suicide percentages and increasing prevention, as well as awareness of suicide, is to pass the Garrett Lee Smith Memorial Act Reauthorization of 2013. This establishment of the provisions included in the Act is a crucial step that you can help with in the efforts to decrease the social problem of suicide.